Good to see you late this evening. So I wanted to just do a dedication of this video. Jesus Robles, first of all, thank you so much for your donations. You, Jesus, are number one. You have no idea how much you help me, how much you come in just at the right time, and how much you cheer up my day, and how much of a difference you make on this channel with your donations. Because of you, I'm able to come and do a second reading today. And that's gracious and thanks to you. So everyone, thank Jesus here for supporting me so much to where I'm able to do more videos. The more support I get from you guys, the more time I'm able to dedicate on this channel and give you more. So big thank you to you, Jesus. You'll be getting a reading afterwards. And I wanted to dedicate a reading here to Nicole. You had a really great message that in your question for your donation reading. And you said, why did, in your story, D, come into your life and leave with no explanation? So why did this person come into your life and then just disappear? So, I'm going to do your reading at the end as well. But that gave me an idea for a reading. And I was like, it's been a while since I did a no contact and no communication. So this is a reading for you guys who feel like you've been shunned. You haven't gotten any explanation. You haven't gotten any contact. They've gone quiet on you. And this could even go for some people that you are getting communication, but just not as much as you used to. Maybe it's a random text once a week, or maybe it's a text every few days, very mild, and you feel like you had fire, and then it just went down to zero. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Oh, I love you. I see you there. I see you. Thank you so much. So, dedication to you guys who, for no reason, you feel like it's either gone cold, stale, weird communication. Like you guys had a hot, fiery night. And then that night or the very next day, they just don't call. They don't call, or they say they're busy or they're working. And you're like, what did I do? Was it me? What happened? Whatever your situation is, this is for you. Okay. What happened? What's going on? Why no communication? Jesus, you're a doll, and I'm so glad you're here watching me. Bottom of the deck in tarot is Three of Cups, celebration in the upright. And that is, I hope that we can get back together. I feel like I want to reunite with you. You make me happy. There's something about maybe being friend zoned, but it's, I think, warm thoughts of you. I feel warm and loving towards you, and you make me happy. And I want to definitely get together with you because you make me happy. So interesting that that's like the overall underall energy is friendship and love. We're going to get more in a second. Bottom of the deck here is, I'm ashamed of what I've said about you, gossip. Sounds like somebody's having some guilt. Oh, I guess we'll just take it. All right, bottom of the deck over here is I'm fighting for us. Interesting. I don't know why this I'm fighting for us overall. Could be you. Could be you're the one that is fighting for this. We're going to kind of piece everything together here. What I've pulled out is mental space, emotional, their physical world, physical 3D reality, and the energy between you two. Okay, so that's what I've pulled. Let's go ahead and dive into the mental space. Eight of Swords trapped. I don't know what to say. Cat's got my tongue. I'm stuck in my head. I'm overthinking everything. I fantasize about you every night. Every night. I want to seduce you. You seduce me. Whatever have you. I finally see how toxic I've been, and I'm working on my shadow self. Please be patient with me. My soul yearns for you. So they want you really bad. It looks like they sabotaged this. They didn't even know what to say, how to handle it with you. They overthought everything. If the reason they got silent was for any mental decision, it was I overthought every second we spent together. Every word I said, everything that we did, I overthought it. And, you know, I beat it to death. I realized that I only think about you sexually, and that's kind of all I've been into. I finally see how toxic that is. And actually, I really want you in my life emotionally. My soul desires you. There's something about my soul that wants you in my life. And I know it's not just sexual. I know it's not just physical. I know that there's something else between us. I don't know why I've only made it intimate in my mind. You know, this person's like, in my head, I've only thought of you one way. And now I'm starting to see that there's more to you and me, and I have to sabotage it. It's like they don't want to go any deeper. Let's get into the emotional space. King of Pentacles. I'm absolutely obsessed with you. Obsession. I'm healing my past life trauma. I'm healing and it's painful. All right, so emotionally, look at that. 2 double healings. The King of Pentacles can be seen for a lot of things, but he can also be seen as someone who's getting his life together. Someone who, let's just say, has it all together. You could be dealing with someone that feels they need to get their life together. They're obsessed with all kinds of things. They've got a lot of bad addictions, bad habits. And they're like, I have a lot of toxicity in my life. In me, it's my choice. It's what I'm doing. I've got to fix it. You know, and they're just like, I know I've got a problem. It's like they overcorrected themselves, and that's why they've gotten quiet. Hi, Christopher Jackson. So this person could be an earth sign, really figured out that they have some serious issues, and they're the problem. They have a lot of issues with their past relationships and definitely their past life, but they just realized that they have a lot, I'm sorry to say, a lot wrong with them. Mentally and emotionally, they're just a wreck. And somehow being with you, it triggered a healing response. You must be a very good healer. You must know that about yourself. You must realize there's something about me that triggers people to do better in life. Make them better. You know, there's something about you that triggers people to get on the right path. Well, you've definitely triggered this person. Let's see what's going on in their physical world. Four of Pentacles in the reverse. It feels like I'm slowly losing you, fading. I feel heartache, and Spirit is helping me. They're losing everything. They're losing money, they're losing time, they're losing stability. They're definitely in Three of Swords in the real life, in the 3D. They're hurting, they're not happy, life is not going very good. They're struggling with any commitment that they might have. They just feel like everything's slipping out of their hands. They have no control and no stability in life. Really, they have none. Let's get one more message about their 3D. Please show me a detail about the 3D. Healing. Wow, we've gotten lots of healing. We've got now. The time is now. They realize that they can't waste any more time. In fact, to be honest, I think they've run out of time. Spirit is coming in and they're going through what feels like a loss. They're going through some grief. They're going through a lot of pain, frustration, confusion. They're losing their footing. They're losing their foundation. They're losing a lot. They could be losing their job, and they could be losing a long-term commitment that is about 4 years long. Let's see what's going on in regards to you. You are the Six of Pentacles with them. Reciprocity. They give a little bit to you. They also give to others. The Santa Claus energy here, though, is you are very giving of your time. You dedicate your time, your money, and your energy to this man or woman. You've given so much. You've given a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of your body. You keep giving. And maybe there's this energy of, I don't know why you're still giving to me. I don't really deserve it. Yeah, that is the truth in this reading. They do not deserve you to give to them anymore, but you are. And that is the situation between you guys. We have, I can't let go, grasping. So they're grasping at straws. They're hanging on to you for dear life. They can't let go of you. You, for some reason, can't let go of them either. I dream of you all the time. So believe me, the sooner you get to bed, honey, right now, the sooner you're going to see them, because you guys are in and out of each other's dreams. I was in denial. All right. So this person, they didn't realize how good you were to them. You were super good to them. That's what this is all about. You were so good. You gave them so much. Like, it's shocking. You are their best friend. And here is the silent treatment. Four Swords. And here is the Nine of Wands in reverse. Whew, they're trying to create some boundaries between you guys for whatever reason. They are going to apologize to you. Page of Cups. They're going to apologize that they made you a friend zone person and not their lover. This is, I'm sorry I didn't choose you. This is straight up friend zone. They love you, they want to be with you, but they, boy, put you in the friend zone. It's so terrible. This is true love, Ace of Cups. And by the way, it's not over. The World card is in reverse. Okay? It's not over. It may feel like it's over, but it really is not. Yeah, expect that apology. There is definite love here. I don't know why they've just been so rude and inconsiderate. This is really childish. The reason that they friend zoned you, pushed you away, got quiet, is because they sabotaged this. I'm ashamed of what I've said in my gossip. I want to know more and more about you. I want to be closer to you, body, mind, and soul. I do want to see you again. I will taste your sweet kiss again. So they definitely want to be close to you and intimate with you. They want to have something more with you. Again, they do hope that in the future this can happen. I'm fighting for us. Let's see what this is all about. Our connection is worth fighting for. There it is. I'm seeing my toxic patterns. And I felt that earlier. I really did. This I'm fighting for us is not like I'm literally in the midst of fighting for us. It means don't give up on us. Fight for this. We do have a beautiful connection, but I'm working on healing severe toxic patterns. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Spirit, what do you want to say about this? What can you add to this situation, please? Drop some bombs, give some clarity. What should we know? All right, we're going to use the Divine Counterparts in Separation deck. This is from Made for Love's channel. She's got a beautiful tarot channel. If you've ever checked her out, you know she's awesome. So thank you, Made for Love, for this deck. Let's see what's going on. Spirit, add to the reading. Let's see what's happening here. What do we need to know? Please show me what we need to know about this character, about the situation. We have moving on to calmer waters, the Magician, and breaking free. So Spirit's like they are going to get away from their own toxicity, their own problems, and their own toxic situations. Spirit's like they're on the move. Kind of like the Chariot and the Six of Swords in one. You know, they're on the move. They are getting better. They are getting out of this funk. Spirit says, wait on them. Wait on them. Like they are going to get better. They are going to heal. You're going to want to be around when they do. I love you. Illumination. Yes. They are realizing how they feel about you. I mean, that's really what Spirit wants to say. If you want to get some zodiac signs on who this could be, highly, highly, highly Virgo or Taurus and a Cancerian. Okay? Those are the biggest signs here today in this little reading. If those zodiac signs really resonate with you, it's a pretty good chance that this is your connection, and it's a pretty good chance that they love you. And the only reason you're not talking or they're being weird about communication is because they got scared of how they felt about you. And they couldn't handle that their feelings were coming back or coming up at all. They just couldn't. And they realized that they do want you. And for some reason that scares them. I don't feel that I want to reveal that in the cards. I feel like that's not for right now on why they are scared. I feel like that's meant to be left out for the moment. But that is the truth. That is the truth. They know that you've given them the time of day that they don't deserve. Surprisingly enough, they just didn't realize they love you. And as soon as they realized it, or as soon as they started having feelings of love, they jumped away. They pulled away, they got quiet, because they're usually a toxic person. They're usually not Mr. or Mrs. Big Love, you know? They're just, and the love situations that they have had in the past, they didn't feel this big. See, your connection with them feels very, very big. Soulmate big. twin flame big. Like, wow, we have a really good chemistry. We have a really good connection. It's amazing that we can be friends. Sorry, guys. Sorry about that. I had an interruption there. Anyways, it's amazing that you guys can be really good friends, Three of Cups, and lovers as well. And it just surprises them. It feels different. It feels weird. It's not a typical love. This is not what they're used to. I feel like what they're used to is meeting someone, having big romantic feelings, and committing, and kind of getting to know them later. It's like, I'll get to know you later. Right now, I'm attracted to you. I want to be with you in bed. I want to take you out to eat. I want to get to know you. I want you. You know, that's their usual relationship. But then when they get involved in the relationship and they get to know that person, it's like, you're really not the person I hoped you would be. You know? And this relationship really isn't what I thought it would be. It's always, I'm attracted to you, I want you, and I'll get to know you later. And this is so different. They've got to know you first. They liked you. And then they loved you. That's scary for them. Now, what is there left to discover? And they're like, what is there left? What am I going to find out? How can we be in a relationship? We've already discovered so much about each other. It's scary. It's like, I already know all about you. I know what you want, what you like, who you are. It's kind of scary to be with someone when you feel like there's not a whole lot left to find out. And it's almost like the hunt is over. They've got a massively amazing connection with you. What's left? And that's what scared him. Because that's the unknown territory. They know how to handle a relationship where they have to get to know someone. They know how to handle that. They know how to handle slow growth. They don't know how to handle this. This is very different. They already feel kindred to you, like a kindred spirit. They already feel bonded to you, like family. They already feel like you're their best friend. They already feel like they're attracted to you an incredible amount. And they already feel like they're incredibly in love with you. After that, it's going to be, let's grow together. And even worse, let's help each other fulfill our dreams. Let's help each other realize ourselves and the things that we really want to do. Let's empower each other. And I think that might be, unbeknownst to them, they may not even realize it, the scariest part. Because being with you means they have to discover themselves and not discover somebody else. And that's the whole point. And I have to write that down because that's definitely it. You guys are going to discover a deeper part, much deeper part of yourselves through each other. That's some introspective game right there. Why would that be so difficult for some people? Well, some people just really don't know who they are. Who are they really when they're not busy discovering somebody else? It's easy to date someone where you have to ask, how's your day? What do you feel like? What do you want? What's going on in your mind? How are you doing? Etc. Quiet! Sorry, guys, it's a weekend. My son's down there playing video games, and for the life of me, at 18 years old, I still cannot figure out how to shut him up when playing video games. That's just never going to happen, apparently. Never going to happen. I have told him to be quiet late at night till I have turned purple in my face for years. I'm done. I'm done. I'm really done. It doesn't matter because every single time I have to say, be quiet, it means nothing. And he won't remember, and it won't be in his head, and it won't be conscious, and it won't help. So I am just talking for no reason. It's exhausting. Anyways, past my little annoyance right there. My bad. I'm sorry, guys. Okay. Back on track. Where am I at in here? Oh, yeah. I don't know. This person's just like, it's easier for me to learn about somebody else and focus. Basically, it's easier for them to focus on somebody else, but it's just very hard for them to focus on themselves because they're going to have to fix some things. They're going to have to fix their career. They're going to have to fix their body, perhaps, like focus on health is what I mean. They're going to have to fix spiritual beliefs, adjust those things and kind of maneuver them to where they're supposed to fit. And basically, yeah, there's a lot of work to be done. That seems like that's the point of this relationship, to trigger healing. And probably it's not just one way. I don't think that you're like Mr. or Mrs. Perfect. You have it all figured out. You're 100%. And aren't you just awesome that you triggered healing in another person? You're just some magical ethereal being that bestowed your love on this person. I am not trying to paint the picture like you are perfect and you have it all figured out, because I doubt that you do. I'm sure that they're going to give you a fair amount of healing triggers yourself. They're going to trigger so much inside of you. Your confidence, your being able to be comfortable on your own, your independence, your femininity, male or female, where you feel comfortable in receiving and being patient and giving the best version of yourself, mind, body, and soul. So believe me, they are triggering some wonderful healing inside of you as well. But anyways, I'm just giving, an answer to your question, which is, why did they go no contact? Why did they just stop texting me? Or why did it get weird between us? Well, this is why. They got triggered. They're healing. You triggered their healing. They love you, and heck yeah, they're in denial about it. They cannot believe they fell for their friend. And again, Virgo, Cancerian, and I don't know if I said Taurus. Could be a Capricorn as well. But strong Cancer. Anyways, Spirit's like, don't freak out. This is a relationship worthy of you, and it's worth waiting for. We have, please be patient. We have wait on me. Okay? So I know that there's this, we're going to have a future here. And Spirit's like, yes, they're going to wake up. And I love you. They're going to realize that they love you. So they're waiting to say this to you. They're waiting to realize this for themselves. Honestly, what do you need to know in the meantime while all this crazy business is going on, going down? Let's see. All right. We're going to use the Alice in Wonderland oracles. What is it you need to know during this time? Ooh, something new. We have investigate, look closely, ask questions, think before acting. Love it. That's in the upright. And we also have find the lesson. Number 29, discover the purpose in a situation and trust that you are learning. The purpose. You have to discover it, though, because a lot of you guys don't know right off the bat. Perhaps it hasn't won, Alice ventured to remark. Tut, tut, child, said the Duchess. Everything's got a moral, even if you can't find it. In this picture here, Alice is struggling to find any meaning in what is taking place in Wonderland, particularly when she is at the court with the Queen of Hearts. She's super puzzled. She's confused and feels a lot like complaining because it's crazy here. The truth is, there's a lot for you and Alice to complain about. Absolutely. You have mountains to complain about with this person that is not treating you correctly, not communicating with you in an adult way, ghosting you, ignoring you, pushing you away, giving you the silent treatment, no contact, no explanation for it, a change in communication. Like things were going really friendly and really sweet and hot and good, and then boom, they got weird. They got strange, they got quiet, they got really friendly and not sexual, like it just went a whole different direction. Yes, you guys have a lot to complain about. People are not cooperating with each other here. There's a great deal of disorganization and chaos. People are quarreling and not getting along. The volatile nature of what is taking place is making people feel like there's no sense of any of this at all. But as the Duchess points out, everything has a moral, or rather, everything has a lesson within it, or a reason, or a purpose. And this is the struggle for you right now. Rather than facing the lesson, the better approach is to trust that there is a lesson. And that this experience will come to be valuable at one place in time. It is very strange, and it's just difficult for you trying to place yourself here. So be patient with yourself and be patient with this person and understand that it's natural to feel frustrated. It's even more natural to feel impatient and confused. But trust that there's a lesson here. There's a reason for this, and in time you will come to know the purpose of this very bizarre, topsy-turvy, and very trying time. Oh, you're getting the giggles? Okay. Well, I'm just reading what's in here. The divination of this card is an upheaval. There's quarrelsome people, disputes, arguments, antagonism, and confusion, frustration, uncertainty about the purpose of this relationship or why they're even in your life at all, feeling frustrated and ready to complain. Why me? Why this one? And why did this happen? And why? To any of your questions, just why? Let it go. Give it to the universe. Ask the universe for clarity and trust that the time will bring an understanding of this lesson whenever you are ready. I know this is an uncomfortable lesson and it's a very uncomfortable adventure, but nonetheless, it's teaching you something or it's giving you something. So interesting enough. I like that. And so, yeah, you guys are like, screw this. I'm upset. Where are you? Why did you get quiet on me? Why are you giving me the cold shoulder? Why was everything going swimmingly and now it's just crap? Why are you giving me chump change, freaking breadcrumbs? Why are you being distant? Why, when I know the connection was real, I know we had an intense moment. I know you're obsessed with me in some way. I know that you fantasize about me and that you're attracted to me and that you want me. I know you want this. Why? And I know those are your questions and it's super frustrating. Just know that, ask the universe, man. They are a mess. They are triggered. Now you've sent them into some spiral of healing their toxic BS patterns. And they're like, wow, I actually have to deal with myself. You're right, Markers. And it's a full moon in Leo. So yeah, it's like, I need to look at myself. How do people see me? How am I coming off? All eyes on me. This is a time for people to realize, how do I make other people feel? And what is my purpose? What is my meaning? This Leo full moon, just so you know, is kind of giving vibes of it's all about me. So if you kind of get this feeling, you're in a vibe where you feel a little bit more selfish than usual. You're a little bit more about you than normal. And you indulge in this full moon. Maybe it's wine, maybe it's chocolate cake, maybe it's a big fat burger from someplace you shouldn't be eating it. This is like a moon of indulgence. And it puts you in the hot seat because you're thinking about what you want personally, like what you deserve, what you want, how you look, how other people think about you. It's like that. This full moon, though, actually has a lot to do with structure. There's a seriousness. As much as Leo is fun in the sun, his 1/7 is Aquarius, Saturn. It's a very serious planet. And it's about discipline, dedication, responsibility, and how you affect others matters. Your voice matters, what you say matters, what you do matters, it affects others. And so there is this very serious approach to, I have a responsibility, which is, if you think about Leo and Aquarius, you're thinking about movie stars and the public being Aquarius. And that's why a lot of movie stars or Hollywood people think they have to voice their opinions about politics or the ecosystem or whatever situation is in the headlines, because their voice has an imprint on people, on a great mass of people. So they have what you would say a big influence. A big influence on others. So in some sense, believe me, this is reflecting on you even in your little personal relationship. And it's like what you do affects them and what they do affects you. And it's like, can we look at that? I've done something to trigger you into a healing. I have to accept that I've triggered you and I've affected you in some way. My energy has been rubbed off onto you and you're dealing with something, and it's a repercussion. It's a result of being with me, of talking with me. That's a result. And for every action is a reaction, right? So they're going through this introspective, I got to figure things out. I'm very quiet. I'm sabotaging. I got to heal some stuff. Wow, I've been so triggered. And you, in turn, and I'm sure I didn't pull a lot of cards for you, but you're in the same boat and you're over here being pushed away. You're being isolated. You're being ignored. And you're just like, wow, this is not making sense. I don't like the way this makes me feel. You're not making me feel good about myself. You're making me second guess how I look. You're making me second guess how you feel about me. And it puts you into this position where you have to tell yourself, why does it matter so much what this person thinks about me? And why does it matter so much what they feel? And you're realizing, well, they matter to me. I love them. Their opinion matters to me. And if you get hurt, you just need to feel that. I was watching the Barbie movie, ironically, before this reading, and it's like, I hadn't seen it. Maybe you guys all saw it, but at the end of the movie, it was like that song, What Am I Made For? You know that song? What am I made for? It's a lot of TikTok shorts and reels. But she's like, what am I going to do? What am I here for? And it's like, what am I made for? And then she's like, I want you to close your eyes and feel. And she starts seeing all these different people. And she's starting to feel what it feels like to be human. What am I made for? And it's feeling all these things. And so right now, you've been triggered, like Barbie, to feel this rejection, feel these triggers, to feel them. And question to yourself, what am I made for? Am I made for this person? Am I just made to be an accessory? A part of someone else's life? Do I have my own? And then it brings me to that part where Ken realizes it doesn't always have to be Ken and Barbie. In the movie, he's like, I can't be Ken without Barbie. It's always Ken and Barbie, Ken and Barbie. It's never Ken. And she's like, well, why don't you just think about being Ken? And he's like, I don't know what that is, to be just Ken. And then she helps him realize he does not need to be attached to her. And so he comes up with this little slogan, I am Kenough. And he kept saying, I am Ken. But it's like, I am Kenough. So anyways, I think that movie had a reason, why I feel like I could make a comment like that in this video. And I feel like telling both of you, you are enough. You are enough, and you don't need to be attached to one another to be enough. And if it's not your lesson, it's his lesson. And if it's not his lesson, it's her lesson. But it's somebody's lesson in all of this to realize you're enough without this partner. You're enough. Anyways, so that's like a part of this reading. The other part is I'm healing. I've been in denial. There's some of that going on. But let's see what's going on with investigate. Look closely, ask questions, and think before acting. Don't jump the gun and assume. A lot of us get insecure and triggered. Look at that, 44 minutes. Triggered. I've been rejected. They're not answering my text. They're not texting me enough. They're not texting me back. They're not calling. Something's weird. Something went really wrong. Really wrong. And you jump to conclusions and you think the worst. 8 of Swords, right? Yeah, that's what we do. We're like, we got to get to the worst, because if I can handle the worst, I can get through anything. And if it's not what I think is the worst, then good. Then it's better than I thought, and then it won't be so hard. So notice that as a people that we always tend to create the worst case scenario. And it's great because we're protecting ourselves. We're like, if I can handle this worst case scenario, I'll be okay. I can handle it all. So you've probably been sitting here creating the worst case scenario in your mind. But This card says, investigate first. Get some answers before you jump to conclusions. Too many people blindly follow their first instinct or others. And in many situations, we can find it easier to go with the flow, to trust in other people, even follow orders, and just do what the collective is saying to do. You ever just get the feeling that people are like, God, those typical sayings? It's so classic. It's like a bunch of sheep huddled together to protect themselves. They project these sayings onto others, and they're like, if you don't believe it, then you're not part of us. You're not good enough. If you don't quote this with us and feel it with us, then you're lost. It's like this group bully mentality. And it's things like, don't go back to your ex. Never go back to your ex. It's like returning to your own garbage or something like that. I don't know the whole saying, but it's like never do that. And it's like a huge saying. It's a huge thing, and a great, great group of people stick to it. Or once a cheater, always a cheater. Or let sleeping dogs lie. Or don't waste your time on losers. You're better than that. Or, you don't need a man, you don't need a woman. It's like they huddle together and just tell you all these things. And if you don't believe it and go along with it, then you're lost. And I'm not saying that some of those things aren't smart. Some of them have a right place and a right time. But it's not accepted as 100% good advice 100% of the time. And too many people jump to conclusions. They give you advice before they know the whole story. They might put someone down before they know what really happened. They could give you advice to leave someone or hurt someone or get out of a situation, not knowing that it affects you and your family, or it affects you karmically or financially. They just give advice randomly because it's widely accepted. And it's like a cookie cutter answer. But this card is saying, no, you need to investigate. Not until Alice thought it through for herself. She may be an impetuous, adventurous, and curious girl, but she is also sensible. She is cautious, and she is inquiring. Alice remembers the good common sense advice, and she has learned through hearing stories of others' mishaps. And right now, you must be like Alice. This card asks you to check something carefully before going ahead, making a rash decision, or making a statement. You are being encouraged to take a new daring path of action. And while everything is most likely okay, you still need to take responsibility and remember to be your own guardian and caretaker. Look over the details in your situation closely. Check the packaging. Read the label, if you will. Be sure to know what is in the fine print. And ask yourself some questions about the arrangement or the offer in which you have been entering yourself into. If, like Alice, you find that there's nothing alarming in this hidden agreement, by all means, go ahead. However, do not follow orders or poor advice, or blindly do what you're told because you're worried about what other people think. Investigate and decide for yourself. Be prepared for unexpected changes when you sign or start or connect or decide to advance. There's always an element of the unpredictable, for sure. There's not going to be any way of really preparing for all the things that may happen next. But it's important that the decision was made by you. And the divination of this card is an important decision requires you to inquire and inform yourself and think your words through carefully and think your thoughts and actions through very thoroughly. Find out as much as you can and look at the fine print before a judgment or statement or action is made. Right, you don't want to rush into this situation without thinking. And I think so that this is an overall, underall message. I think that your partner who's gone silent or weird is also doing this. Asking questions, looking at you closely, making observations, figuring things out, reading the fine print. I think that they're also doing that because they didn't want to jump in with their heart like that. And you, I kind of get the feeling that you did jump in with your heart. And it's like you wanted some sweet results. But Spirit's telling me that you opened up your heart in a situation that needed more constructive thinking. Spirit's telling me it's kind of like a guy or a girl that meets someone they're attracted to, they're friends with, they hang out with, then they find out that they're married, or they find out that they live with their parents, or they find out that they're long distance, or they're only here temporarily, or they have some weird situation going on, like they live with their ex-wife and their kids. It's like weird, you know? It's like if you meet someone and there's some weirdness and you jumped in and now you're asking why they aren't jumping in too, is like you're not really taking care of yourself. What was that? Why did you go into a situation, both eyes open, 2 feet in, knowing that they were not fit, ready, or prepared for the kind of relationship you want? And it's almost like maybe an older man or an older woman dating a younger person and expecting them to act mature. It's like, oh, well, I'm with you now, so you need to grow up. You need to do this. You need to do that. Why aren't you? Why aren't you doing this and that? Why aren't you acting like this? Why aren't you comfortable with this? And it's like, look who you're with. Look who you got involved with. Maybe you got involved with some wild college student. Maybe you got involved with someone that's never lived outside of their own mom's home. Maybe you got involved with someone who's still involved in another relationship or has several. And you're asking for them to have a mature conversation. You're expecting them to show up healed, front and center, ready for soulmate love. It's like, what are you asking for? You cannot get blood from a turnip. They may both be red, but this is not happening. Or whatever the saying is. I don't know. I'm just hearing, don't ask for more than what is going on here, because you need to be more careful getting into a contractual relationship as well. Because there's some kind of an agreement here. You do for me, I do for you. And so it's just like, listen, don't be in denial either. Don't believe somebody is full front and center ready for a serious connection when you know when you met them they were not relationship material. And then we want to gossip. We want to say what? That they're cheater, liar, that they're immature, that they're petty, that they're ridiculous, that they're unresponsible. It's like, well, why were you even attempting something with that person? If that person was making love to you every night, texting you every hour, and committed to you, would you still be talking SHIT? The answer is no. Even if they were a childish, wild, out of control college student, mama's boy, mama's girl, immature, adolescent, irresponsible, wilding out person, if they were calling you every day, multiple times, hooking up with you, you wouldn't have crap to say. You would still be hoping that the grass will turn green here. There would be no complaints. You would just be holding out for the good. But because it's not going good, because it got silent, because they gave you no contact or very weird communication, now all of a sudden they're immature. Now all of a sudden they're petty. Now all of a sudden, they must be doing something else with somebody else. And I'm not saying they're not. I'm not saying they're not. But Spirit's calling you out and saying, what's the lesson here? Did you jump in with your feet all in and you knew what you were doing, but you didn't, I don't know. Let's look at that. Anyways, Spirit's like, the shoe fits for both feet here. So let's look at both here. Let's investigate. Let's ask some questions. Let's look closely. Let's think about, are we thinking before we're acting? Are we going based on attraction level here, not mental? Are we getting involved with someone physically before we are intimately, spiritually connected? What are we doing here? Because this person is giving you a lesson. And I'm not saying there's not love here. We got 3 cups. This is great. There's attraction, there's friendship, there's value. And it says it's worth waiting for. It says, please be patient with me, wait on me, and I'm fighting for us. So I think this is a genuinely good connection, but it's gone awry, something's wrong, something's off. And it may be partly you or it may not, but this person needs some time because they've definitely been in denial about their feelings. And it's saying before you jump to conclusions and think the worst of them, cut some slack. Don't make rash judgments unless you've investigated and have all the answers. Because unless they're telling you every detail about what's going on, you really don't know. Maybe their dog died. Maybe they're waiting to find out if they have cancer. Maybe they're working another job to help pay for their uncle or aunt or grandparents or sisters or brothers' medical treatments or help support them in some way. Maybe they're trying to get out of debt and fix their credit. Maybe they have a body issue, anorexia or some eating disorder. They may be going through some manic episode or extreme depression. Maybe their dad just died last month and they hadn't said anything. You don't even know that. It's kind of like this person hasn't fully opened up. And even though there is something good and close here and there's beauty here, be patient with them because you don't know the full story. I'm not giving them a helping hand. I'm not trying to support them and say what they're doing is okay. I'm just saying, based on the cards, what I pulled for you, it says you need to investigate, ask questions, think about it before acting. Don't jump to conclusions. It's for your own safety because you don't want to make a fool of yourself. You don't want to be a fool. You don't want to be the a-hole. You don't want to be the impatient bi, you know. You don't want to be the brat. You don't want to be that, you know, self-centered, inconsiderate, it's all about me, narcissist person. You don't want to be that person. Well, I mean, I hope you don't want to be that person, but I don't think you do. I don't think you want to be that person. And if you are, you know, by all means, just do you. But if this reading is about you, I think you're a lot better than that. I think you're a better friend than that. I think you're a kinder person than that. I think you're more loving than that. I do. So, you know, if it's another weird toxic situation, if it is truly ridiculous, you know, like where this is terrible, this is just, you're dealing with a terrible person and they treated you terribly and you deserve better, then I have a message for you. If that really is the truth, why did you give yourself to this person? Why did you give your body, your mind, and your time to this person? Because even right now, you're giving them your time. Why? And that is a question to be answered. That's the reason why Spirit said, find the lesson, even in this. Find the lesson. Because maybe this is about you. You need to do some healing and it's painful. Maybe you've been triggered. You know, maybe you need to fight for yourself. Look at what you've been in denial about, that this was never love to begin with. It was never an important relationship to start with. Look at your dreams. Are they telling you something? A repetitive pattern, perhaps a repetitive cycle. Is it you get intimate too quick, or you get your heart involved and played with too quick? And there is something in the air about a lack of boundaries. It is about, where are your boundaries? So let's read that just to get some more insight here for you, for those people that need it. Olivia, I'm so glad you're here, and I definitely will. Thank you so much for watching. I hope my voice is somewhat comforting. So anyways, when the Nine of Candles is reversed, it shows that you are feeling overwhelmed by some challenges. It feels like life is extremely difficult. Nothing comes easy, and you need comfort. And a lot of this is just short-term problems, but it's also about you keep putting yourself in the same position without reserve, protection, or mindfulness. You know, the Nine of Pentacles is usually a wounded warrior, and it's someone who's fully bandaged up. He's got a broken leg, a broken arm. He's on crutches. He's got a headband over his head. It's bleeding. Obviously, he's got a concussion of some sort. He physically cannot make the journey. And he's built a fence around him to kind of protect him from any people that want to come and fight, because he's not able to fight. He's like, I need help. I'm by myself here. The only help I can do is build a fence around me and hope that no one comes to attack. So when it's in reverse, it's still being the wounded warrior for sure. But in this instance, not protecting yourself. There is no safety wall. It's just sitting there in the open, like a sitting duck, ready to get picked off, beaten up, killed, or harmed with no protection. And it's basically saying you're not even protecting yourself. And some big questions to ask. What if you get a terminal illness from this person, like an STD? something terrible, tragic that affects your life, or maybe just affects the way you live your life from now on? What if if you're a female, pregnant by this person? That affects you for the rest of your life. What if this person takes you and beats you and leaves you for dead somewhere? What if this person video records you doing something you would not approve of and posts it? You know, what if this person is involved in another relationship and you get caught up in a fight with an enemy you never even wanted? And this is saying protect yourself. What lesson have you learned in this? Where are you giving your heart away, your mind, your time? Are you being mindful? If these wands were money, how much money would you deposit into that person's bank account? How much time? If time were money, if every hour was $100 bill, how many $100 bills would you put into this individual? How worth it are they to take those $100 bills? And it's good to think of it in that way, because a lot of people would quickly stop putting time and energy into a relationship if they turned it around and it was money. They would quit. They'd be like, I'm not depositing another dime in this person. They do not deserve my time. And the wise people, this is a good way to think about it, know that if they deposit money into this person, if it was money, their investment's going to pay off with interest. Those are the people you want to dedicate your time to, because time is money in a sense. Think of it that way, because you're very cautious about your money. You need to be cautious about your body, your mental space, and your time. And it's like, believe me, there are people that are worth your deposits. There are people that you put your time in there, boom, 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 even if they're giving you a hard time, and before you know it, it's going to pay off with interest, and you're going to have a lot more than you came in with, because they're going to be healed, they're going to be good, they're going to love you, and it's going to be a wonderful relationship. And it was worth the effort you put into someone. It was worth the counseling. It was worth the wait. It was worth it. So ask yourself, that's just the lesson, because this cards don't lie. I don't come on here on a channel and just start telling stories for the fun of it. And I don't tell stories because they're just made up fantasy stories. I come here and I read cards because I think cards are a divination tool, and they're just as powerful as any Bible, as any spiritual prayer, as any revelation, as any message from an angel or spiritual revelation of any type. These cards reveal. They reveal the secrets behind closed doors that we can't see. So I'm not here to spin stories and spin webs of BS to pad your sensitive ASS. I'm not here to sugarcoat your situation. I'm here to tell you the truth. And if this reading is for you, it's for you. And if it's not for you. It's a general reading. It reaches out to a few people, maybe a little bit more than that, but it's a collective reading, and it's for someone with a specific Earth zodiac sign, and for someone that may even have a Cancerian sign. If you don't have those signs, check yourself out. And secondly, if this is not your situation, where you're speaking to someone that got quiet on you and is not contacting you anymore, and you don't know why, but you know you had an intense connection, and they are working on themselves, and you feel that there's something beautiful here and that there's a very good friendship with love, and that you've given so much of yourself here and they realize it, if that's not your message, it's not your message. If you don't feel like they want you, that they would be into fighting for you, if you don't feel like this connection is worth waiting for, then it ain't your connection. You know, you want to know why this person is worth it? Why this person is worth waiting for? Because they are seeing their toxic patterns, and they're healing. Period. Point blank. And we even got this one. Look at that. We even have Spirit is helping me. Now, Spirit's not going to get involved in some BS half ASS relationship. Spirit is not going to waste the time to go dedicate themselves and their angels and their help and their healing and help in any way for some lame, no good, BS, it was never nothing relationship. If it was nothing, zero, nothing, there wouldn't even be a reading. There is not a reading for a nothing relationship. Spirit doesn't even give face time, any space or time to a connection like that. None. It's they came in like the wind and they're going to go out like the wind. There's nothing there. It wasn't meant to be. It was a fly-by-night situation. It was a wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. It was, I used you and abused you, peace off. It was, I hope I never see you again. What a waste of time, what a regret. That's what it was. And if that was the connection to where they had never wanted to contact you again, or you never wanted to contact them, it was a major regret that they ever touched you, connected with you, exchanged numbers with you, or had anything with you at all. And they ran for the hills because they were embarrassed that they even let themselves. Or maybe you ran for the hills because you're embarrassed that you even allowed yourself to be part of something like that. So that's the story for people that have nothing going on as far as a connection. It was pointless, lifeless, loveless, and a big waste of time. And it didn't need to show up in this reading, and that's why it didn't. Sorry to keep it real like that, but that's what it was. It was a bust and a leave. Bust and leave. That's what it was. That's the real truth. And they didn't want nothing else to do with it. It was a bust. Now, that's not this reading. As you can tell, we have a very different vibe. We have friendship and we have love. We also have patience. We also have lessons that are being learned. That I need to guard myself better, I need to do better, I need to be more aware, I need to be more cautious, I need to investigate more, I need to not jump to conclusions. It also shows that there's a very good possibility there's going to be an apology in the near future. And we're talking within about 30 days, a written apology, most likely a text message. Someone's going to reach out and say, I apologize for pushing you off and hurting our connection and separating us in any way because I was going through something. I do have strong feelings for you. Now, I'm teaching you something about tarot, and I've taught you guys this in my tarot class, which, by the way, is available on my website if you want it. But when you get a negative card, where this is in reverse, you want to look at the cards around it to see if it's a positive message or a negative message. And we have one negative card But this is a lack of boundaries, and there's a lot of pain associated here. So it's negative, but not too negative. Then we have healing and rest and recuperation, and a little bit of silence here, which is not negative, but it's not positive either. It's just very neutral. And then we have a positive card here, which is love and friendship. And it's a very close connection. And it's maybe even a karmic connection. And then we have the Ace of Cups, which is another positive card, and it's upright. So it's saying this is true love. This is new love. This is a love that can be revived, healed, renewed, refreshed. This is a beautiful, good love to have. It's worthy, and it's blessed by spirit, okay? So you've got positive cards around it. So what I'm trying to say is when you have positive cards around a negative card, you can say that this is more of a positive message than a negative message, and that this is actually an apology, that I do feel we're connected, but I'm sorry I separated this. I'm sorry I ruined what we had. It could have been more. It should have been more. I was in denial. I didn't recognize this. I'm pushing this away. Maybe I'm not ready for this, but this is scary to me, and this is the problem. What is the problem? Commitment. Commitment is the problem. So we do have somebody here that is a little bit scared of commitment with you. And the reasons I stated earlier, and I stick to it, they already feel so good and so comfortable with you. It's very alarming, and they don't know how to handle that kind of a deep connection. It's a little bit too much, and it has triggered them into a healing of their childhood and their past life. They may have dealt with some serious issues growing up, or they may have gotten out of a very weird, serious relationship, a marriage of some sort. And anyways, they're damaged. They do have baggage. There is a past here, and the button has been pushed. So the overall message is, don't jump to conclusions. Give it some time. This is worth waiting for. They are healing and figuring out the problems that they've brought to the table. Be patient, okay? They want to get it right. I don't want to run anymore. Trust in me, okay? They don't want to run. They also have strong feelings that you are very likely their soulmate. They do have an inclination of that this is a different kind of connection than they're normally used to having. And again, we have, I love you. So believe me, there is love here, because you guys got that right here as well. All right. So this reading isn't for everybody, but it is for someone, and maybe a few people. So anyways, the message here is give it some time. Okay. Give it some time. Some time to heal. Get busy with yourself. Pay attention to you. This Leo moon is like, I want you to see who you are. You are enough, just like Ken said in the Barbie movie. You're enough. So you are enough. And go inside yourself. This is the biggest problem today. Where did I put it? This is the biggest problem today for the viewer, for the person watching. And it's mind your boundaries. You don't need to give yourself away to someone that's not giving you the vibes that you deserve back. Okay? You deserve good vibes. You deserve good respect. You deserve to be texted back if you've texted them. You deserve to be treated with mutual respect. You deserve to be treated with kindness and loyalty. You deserve that if you've opened yourself up intimately with someone, that they treat you accordingly, and that they respect that you did that, and they give you their heart, and they open up with you. You should never give your body to someone that is not ready to open up their heart. And if you did, that is on you. And it's saying we need to check that. You better check that so you don't wreck yourself. Okay, check yourself before you wreck yourself. You need to be more mindful about who you give yourself to. And that's the lesson for the person that maybe gave themselves too soon to this connection, and they're feeling very rejected and triggered. Big message for you, don't do it again. Don't do it again. And even if they beg you, they plead with you, they say they're going to be there, they really want this, you need to respect yourself more. Because if you respect yourself, they will respect you. And maybe that is a little bit of a regret. And it's, if I didn't do that, if I would have stuck to my guns, if I would have stayed put, if I never went over there to meet up with them, if I never would have done that, if I would have just stuck to what I said, I would probably still be communicating with them back and forth with no issue. But because I did, it's on me. And and it's like, it's not the worst thing that could happen. Clearly, there's a chance still here in this relationship. There's still time. There's still a chance, but do it better next time. And this is just remind yourself of what's important. Don't lose yourself in this person. You need to respect yourself. You're overwhelmed, and I know it's difficult, and you kind of gave in, but you don't always have to do it. It's okay to say no. Let's get a message here from Spirit for you. What you need to know as the viewer. So what do you need to know as a viewer? Spirit, please come down in these cards and use them as a message for the person watching. What do they need to know for themselves when referencing the Nine of Wands in reverse? Stick with people who pull the magic out of you, not the madness. All right. Don't be around people or give yourself to people that clearly hurt you and put you in a funk. Notice how you feel when you're with a person. If you feel like crap, don't hang out with them anymore. It's that straightforward. They don't have to be bad people for you to choose not to engage because they just make you feel weird or funny, okay? It may just be a reaction to them. Even if you can't remove yourself from their presence completely, you can at least check in with that part of you that gets a little weird, a little crazy, and give that the love that it needs. So if they're making you feel odd or off, you need to step off. If they're making you feel uncomfortable, if they're too pushy, if they're forcing you to get comfortable with something you're not, that's enough. Give yourself permission to red flag them and back off. Spirit says it's okay for you to do that. Integrity is the new black. Wear it. It looks good on you. Integrity means having your actions match your values. Most of the time, integrity takes a lot of not doing stuff, not smacking people, not yelling at people, not talking crap about people, not stealing stuff, not lying, not littering, and not just being a rude, cruel, bad person. Don't be mouthy. Just don't. That's no integrity. Have more integrity for yourself than that. If the temptation is too strong to do something bad, sometimes it helps people to write down the good thing and put it back in their pocket. It's hard to justify smacking someone when you have your ASS pressed up against the word compassion. Compassion for the imperfect people in this world. You might have to remind yourself. We also have beautiful things happen when you distance yourself from negative crap. Okay, so beautiful things happen. Darnell, I see your message here. Well, I'm okay and tired of waiting for 15 years. Wow, yeah, that's way too long. You did yourself an injustice, especially when that's what everyone of my haters want. It's screwed me out of everything. Now, the best way to get your power back, Darnell, is not to say that your haters screwed you out of everything, but to own it and say, you screwed yourself out of everything. It's going to be good for you in this Leo full moon to reflect and say, I screwed myself out of everything. And I'm angry that I did that because I was over dedicated to someone unworthy. Because I wanted to express true love and wait and believe in the miracle of true love. That I had faith that he would come around. You don't have to beat yourself up to own it. You just have to own it. And then forgive yourself and be okay with what's happened. And know that that was an internal choice. You didn't have to, but you did it for love. You didn't have to, but you did it because you thought that it was full of integrity to do that. And you didn't have to, but you did because you felt it was the right thing. And being a good person certainly doesn't mean any one of us need to be crucified for loving someone. And the sad truth is, we don't always get what we give. We just don't. There is so many good people in this world that give and give and give. Much like this Six of Pentacles, you are Santa Claus and you give people breaks after breaks and you wait year after year, just hoping, praying, expecting, believing they're going to be right, that God's going to take care of this, that they're going to change, that something's going to reveal the truth to them. They're going to see the light. They're going to see how dedicated you are. And the sad truth is, some people just take advantage of your kindness. Unfortunately, there's terrible people like that in this world. And a lot of that, and this is not, it's the non-spiritual approach to this is a book I read, and I suggest it to you, Darnell. Maybe you've already read it, but it's Why Men Love Bitchs. I think it was written by a woman. Or maybe it was Steve Harvey. I don't know. It was something like that. But why do men love them, those bitchs? Because they make them work for it. And that's not a spiritual message. It's just a side. It's just a psychology kind of thing. Men do feel like, not all men, but I would say a good majority of them, do feel like they have to hunt and work for their prize. And if it's too easy, it's not worth it. And a lot of good women, and maybe men too, because it could be vice versa, but a lot of good women put their heart on the line and they make it so easy to be loved. They cook, they clean, they bear children, they give wife duties even before they're a wife. And they put it all on a silver platter with loyalty and dedication to back it up. They're already putting their worth on the table before they've been given anything in return. And I was really happy when TikTok started making shorts where women had this robot voice where it was like the husband or the guy, the boyfriend was like, hey, are you going to get in there and cook me some dinner? And they would speak like a robot and say, I'm sorry, you need to upgrade to the wife status level. Currently, you are paying for girlfriend level. I don't know, it was like some kind of a robot thing where it's like, you're having girlfriend level. If you want food, this and that, you need to upgrade to wifey level. I don't know, it was just a funny thing that TikTok had these little shorts. And I was like, that's the darn truth. That is the darn truth. There's so many ladies today, and I just want to speak to these women out there. You are just given all the goods. All of it. I mean, you probably have your legs spread Desert Eagle style from one end of the bed to the other, and you are putting in work. You got your hair in a ponytail. You are going to town like it's going to save the world down south. You are fighting to win the wars by sucking the evil out of this world. You are just doing the thing, and you're busting out babies for these men, and you are cooking and cleaning and bringing in half the bills. You're just doing above and beyond and looking good on top of it, which is work. You're doing all that for someone that can't even upgrade you to wifey status. For someone that has you in the long distance, low commitment, what is it? Long distance, low commitment, it's something else. No strings attached connection. It's like, what? You're giving all that for what? What are you getting in return? You know, I do miss the old days. I do. But the one thing I see majority out of a lot of women, especially mature women, we're talking 40 years and older, what I've seen results, and even for a lot of my clients, is women that wait decades. We're talking 10, 20, 30 years for people, 40 years and older, you know, and they are just waiting. And that's a message for the young girls. Why are you putting in time? What are you getting out of it? These are the messages that Spirit wants to give young women and young men. If you're going to put in time, years, dedication, and effort, you better be getting something in return. This is mutual. Love is a give and take, and that is why we have reciprocity, 6 of Pentacles. Sure, sometimes people put in a little more than the others. That should not be a permanent thing. That should be temporary. Sometimes people need some help. They need a pick-me-up. They need you to be patient with them. And it's okay to give a little bit more to them during their time of healing. It's okay to give them a little space, a little wiggle room. But it sure is not okay to keep doing it for an extended period of time. There has to be some kind of a limit here. And I think it's important for you to know, man or woman, it's important for you to stand up for yourself and say, I'm worthy and I'm deserving and I have a right and I will not be here forever. I like to think of Braveheart with that 9 of Wands, the wounded warrior, because he stood up for his people. His people were dealing with slavery. They were dealing with abuse, murders. The Scots at the time were being bullied by the British, and every time they got married, the British soldiers got to take the bride to bed that night. And the purpose was from the king to breed out the Scots. We may not be able to defeat them, but we can breed them out. So they wanted to impregnate their wives on their wedding night. It was cruel. So they just went through a major suffering. And for William Wallace to stand up and say, screw this crap and screw you. We're going to fight. We're going to take our country back. And you're going to keep your hands off our women. And you're going to keep your hands off our land. And you're going to keep your hands out of our pockets. And you're going to back the F up. Back that ASS up. And so he started that little war. But you know, it was terrible. It was like some of the people in Scotland didn't want that. They wanted the British to have power because they were given land. They were given titles. They wanted it. And so he not only had to fight the Brits, he had to also fight his own people. And so he was getting hit on both ends. He still stood up for himself, and he stood up for what was right. And he spoke for the people that couldn't speak, but mostly he was speaking for himself because he was angry. And he knew they deserved better. And mostly he knew that they were wrong and they needed to get put in their place. And one of the messages you guys need to know watching this is you need to stand up for yourself. This is in reverse. You have it in reverse. You're not standing up for yourself. You're not. And I didn't come in on you because it wasn't about you. It was about them and why they haven't contacted you and what's been going on, why the communication got weird. But something needs to be said for the fact that you're not standing up for yourself. I'm not beating you up, and I don't want you to beat yourself up over this, but you're not. And it's okay. Own that. It's not the worst thing in the world. Okay, I'm a nice guy. Okay, I'm a nice girl. I sit here and I'm a doormat and I'm loving these people, this person, like way more than they deserve. That's not so horrible, guys. It's not so horrible. And I'm not judging you hard like that. Don't feel bad. Gosh, 80% of people do this. You're not all alone. You're not put out there being ridiculed. You're in this with a group of other people, and it's okay. Now, in this reading, it's beautiful. Someone here is good. Someone here has some issues, and they're healing it, and they do love you, and give them some time because it's worth it. So this is a good message. It doesn't always end that way, though. It doesn't always end good. This is lucky. This is fortunate that this is going to end well. It's fortunate that in this case, you weren't used and abused and taken advantage of. You're fortunate that you're being a little bit shafted by someone. They do love you, but they're going through some SHIT. So you're fortunate that that's the case. Because in a lot of cases, it's not the case. In a lot of cases, you're being ghosted or you're being no contact or ignored or weird with because they've got someone else. Because they had no intentions to be with you. Because they used you. Because they're cruel, they're toxic, they're devils. Because they're a karmic lesson on your walk to enlightenment. Sometimes we get those readings, and that's why they're not contacting you. There's someone else, and that's why, because they're a dirty, dark, toxic person, and that's why. So be very fortunate that in this reading, that's not why. Okay, because it very well could have been. Today's reading could have been they're just a terrible, toxic person, and I hope you learned a lesson and secure yourself better next time. That could have been this message, but it's not. You got lucky. You got lucky that this person is not toxic like that. They have toxic patterns, and they're dealing with them. Now, I didn't have a lot of time to dive into what Spirit's helping them with and what it is that they're healing. I just didn't have enough time to go into all of those details, but it's got to be something big. You know, big trauma. Trauma is not to be played with. It's not a light thing. And they're really dealing with something painful in themselves. And it requires time because it's not easy. So back off. Let Spirit help, you know. And the biggest message for the viewer is work on yourself because you don't need to be hurt no matter what. Even if they are a nice guy or a nice girl, you don't deserve to be hurt. You don't. Even if they are your true soulmate and they're wonderful, but they're still ghosting you. They're still not respecting you. They're still not responding to you. They're still giving you weird in and out messages. They're still giving you mixed signals. So even if they are Mr. and Mrs. Nice Girl, guy, whatever, okay, you deserve more than that, and you should want more than that. And the message for you, you know, is what are you going to do about that? Yeah, they want you to wait for them. Spirit says you could wait. They love you. But it's a choice. You could also go do you. You could also say, you know what, just call me when you get better. I'll see if I'm here. You could also say nothing and just go live your life. And if it's meant to be, it will be. You could also throw yourself into writing a book, your stories. You could go through some spiritual transformational journey. You could go meet a guru or, some teacher that just guides you into this universe of yourself and just get so enveloped in your spirit and your higher self and discover this whole new version of you and be so busy with that you don't even notice the time ticking on how long it's been since your separation. There's one thing I've always said on my channel and I'll stick to forever. Whenever we get wait on me cards, the proper way to wait on someone is to live your life. Live your life. Your spirit and soul will know when it's the right time. So will theirs. And if you meet someone in the midst of that, then you meet someone. If you don't, you don't, but you live your life. Waiting and not living is not anything Spirit would ask of you. I kind of see this waiting card as Spirit saying, hold my beer. Watch this. I'm going to help this person. Hold my beer. It's kind of like watch in amazement how this person's going to turn around. That's kind of what this reading is meaning to me. Like, watch. I'm going to show you what this person is really all about. I'm going to help them heal, and you're going to be so surprised at this person's turnaround and how they're going to be good for you. Watch. Hold my beer. Watch this relationship reunite. Watch. Spirit's almost excited to see this transform. And nowhere in there I feel that he's saying, sit down, hold your breath. I'm going to work on him. You just pause. Pause your life. Don't do anything. Don't move. Don't write a book. Don't work on yourself. Don't go forward in life. Just pause your life on mute and just stay still and let me do this. Never would Spirit ask you to do that. Never. You're still going to have a life. And so it's important for you guys to remember, don't wait. And thank you, Darnell Dodge, that you have announced that you've waited 15 years, almost 2 decades, for someone. And on top of that, you stated you were celibate the entire time. And you have what we would say quite the determination, because you know where that comes from? Earth signs, maybe even water signs. Water and earth have stick-to-itiveness. Definitely. Most stubborn, wait out signs is Taurus. It's followed by Capricorn, and then ending in Virgo for 3rd place, bronze, for the wait game. And I mean waiting game. Then comes the water elements, and boy, do they have dedication as well. Number 1 for the water signs for ultimate dedication and being able to wait on someone would be Cancerian. The next person would definitely be coming in Scorpio, followed by Pisces. They have the energy to be determined, dedicated, and stick to it. And you want to know why water and earth, they're 1/7s. Scorpio's 1/7 with Taurus. Capricorn's 1/7 with Cancerian. Virgo's 1-7 with Pisces. Notice how Virgo and Pisces came in last, third place, and they're 1-7 from each other. That's interesting. But, you know, if you have those zodiac signs in your chart strong, like a sun, moon, or rising, you can get lost in a relationship that doesn't pay it forward. You can find yourself trapped or stuck in a carousel of a relationship that is always left hoping, praying for better days. So anyways, before we get lost into that in-depth, watery energy, you know, the message here today, really, guys, take it home with you. Be better. Do better for yourself. You deserve more. It doesn't matter if they're worthy, if they're lovely people. You don't deserve to be shafted like this, and you better stand up and be like, you know, don't do that. Some of the best advice I've ever heard in relationships is if someone ignores you and doesn't call you, make them pay in some way. You know, let them know they've got a price here to deal with. They've got a debt. Some of the best advice I've heard is if you've been ghosted or ignored in some way, when they do call you, when they do reach out, because they will, don't answer right away. Don't just answer that first ring. Oh my God, they're calling me. No, let it go to voicemail. I'm not saying you don't communicate with them, but you let it go to voicemail. Or you let them text. And then you open up the text message and you leave it on read, but no reply. So you leave it on read, let them be like, wow, they saw my message, but they didn't respond. That's weird. I called, left a voicemail, they didn't call me back. What if they don't leave a voicemail? Well, they know you saw it on the caller ID. So either way, they know that you know that they called and you're not jumping to reach out to them. And then you can call or text back, even better, just text and, hey, what's up? And they'll tell you, oh, just checking up on you, seeing how you are. Oh, thanks. I'm good. Very short, very simple. One sentence answers. Because it's going to be up to them to pay the debt. It's going to be up to them to want to fix what they did. They're going to have to come up and say, hey, I'm sorry I dropped off for a while. I was going through something. And it's up to you to say, oh, that's okay. Or, I'm sorry that happened to you, but you sure left me stressed out, wondering what happened when the last time we saw each other, it went so great. You know, call them out on it, in my opinion. Call them out on it. Don't just be like, oh, it's okay. That's the nice watery sign thing to do. Oh, it's okay. I forgive you. It's all right. It's all right. I understand. No, we don't understand. No, that was rude. It was poor behavior and it was immature and it's not okay. You see, they need to know that that's not okay. And, you know, they need to step up and be like, look, I really apologize. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that. You know, can you give me another chance? Can we start over? Can we meet up together? Can we see each other? If you're feeling open to it, you know, go ahead. You know, give them that shot if you feel that they're worth it. And don't give up anything this time. Make them work for it. Make it harder. You're not going to kiss them so easy. You're not going to be affectionate so easy. You're damn sure not going to give it up so easy. They have to come forward now. And make them. Make them. You know, this is a time where you stand up for yourself and you look back at your actions and say, wow, that was childish. That was stupid of me. I allowed that to happen. I went against my own conscience. I disregarded the red flags. I allowed the mistreatment. I went ahead with something I didn't quite feel was 100%, and I'm not going to do that again. Anyways, that is your advice, guys. That is your reading. I hope it made sense for you. I hope it did something for you. I appreciate you for watching me. Spirit is definitely helping in this love connection. They feel some heartache for sure. They're going through some feelings of they're losing you. They've already messed it up. They should. They know what they did wrong. It's up to them to fix it. You don't need to fix it for them. They're going through a hard time where everything is being lost. They're just losing their grip on reality. They're losing their grip on everything they want to hold on to. It's just a new foundation is being created right now in their reality. Find the lesson in why you guys went through what you went through and change it. You know, make some changes for yourself, for sure, and let them do some changes for themselves. Spirit says be patient with them. You know, they are going through a great deal of healing, whatever it is. Be glad that you triggered them. And remember, they're in denial. They do love you. They just are scared to death of it, that's for sure. They've got their issues to work out on why they're scared of it, but they do love you, and that's great. So good luck with that, guys. That's what's going on. I hope you guys have better communication from here forward. And I appreciate you. If you're looking for anything personal, my website is there in the description below. And I'm doing donation readings till Sunday. So if you just want to donate, whatever you can afford, I want to pay it forward and not put a price on it. Just whatever you can afford. And I'll be sure to answer your questions. I ask that you just give from your heart, whatever it is. If you feel like being generous, the universe is going to be very generous with you. And just keep that in mind. Whatever you can give, Spirit knows what's in your heart and what you're able to do and what you need. And so just be a genuine person. And I know the cards will reveal some truth for you. Some very helpful truth. So that's going to be available till Sunday. You can pay through Cash App. It's in the description below. Or you can do it on my website, which is a donation. You could just do a donation there. The website does international. Cash App, I don't know about that. I guess you guys will have to see. But that concludes this reading. Remember, this is a journey, not a destination. So you just keep swimming. Tonight, I'm going to end this reading, and I'm going to be reading some cards here for Jesus and Nicole. Nicole, these are little personals. These are readings for people that donated already, and they're just waiting for their reading. So I thought I could go ahead and read for them. So this is right now a personal for someone named Nicole. You're welcome, Darnell, and I love you, girl. All right. Doja, we already did the donation reading yesterday for you. The $22 Celtic Cross I am going to do for you when we do the Celtics, which I believe is later on Sunday. All right, so Nicole, why did D come into your life but then leave with no explanation? Spirit, please guide and direct me in a message for Nicole in regards to D. Why did D leave Nicole with no explanation? And why did he come into her life? Oh, girl, I would be hella frustrated after that much time. Believe me, it's definitely understandable. We all here totally can understand and have compassion and sympathize with what you've been going through. It's very frustrating. And shame on him for taking advantage of you in that way. Really. Shame on him for real. And watch, as soon as you let go, karma's coming for him. The only reason karma's been giving him a break is because you've been giving him a break. As soon as you let go of those reins, watch. Oh, and I want a very different read for my Celtic. That's why I asked for a specific question. Yes, you're going to get a very different read. We're going to go all in for that question on the Celtic. Absolutely. Spirit, please guide and direct me for Nicole. Why this person came into their life and left with no explanation. Show me D. Bottom of the deck, D dreams of you actually quite a bit. So I kind of get the feeling that he's a little bit haunted. He's haunted by what happened with you. Page of Wands at the bottom of the deck, Page of Cups. He didn't take you seriously. Nicole, this situation was just not taken seriously at all. He played around with you. He was just looking for kind of a good time. I think he knew that you wanted more, but he didn't offer that to you. I feel like I'm losing my mind. He's going through an awakening, so that's good. And a lot of that is this dreams. It's like, why do I keep dreaming of this? Because you know why? Because karma comes back to torture you. Okay? And that's what's going on with him. This is torture. Torture. And it's, you don't know what kind of hell you put someone through. Let me remind you. Okay? Oh, I just got a smell. He must have had really good cologne. Like cool water. Who knows? I don't know. Very good cologne. I don't know the name of it or anything like that. I just got a big whiff of cologne. So D must have just been very attractive, smelled very good, and just really turned you on and really had this chemistry with you. And really just impressed you with the looks and the pursuit. Because I feel like, Nicole, you were pursued in this relationship. You didn't pursue him. He pursued you. So he did the chasing. He offered you something also, Page of Cups. You guys talked about some kind of a future that you guys might have together. You talked about future events. And you just stayed consistent on this. You wanted to work on it, stay with that dream, continue that chemistry and that process of the relationship. And he just sat there thinking you're just an option, that he has so many choices. I don't know where to choose from. I also feel like this person maybe has some mommy issues because we have the Empress down here. So I do feel like, ooh, King of Pentacles. Mommy may have some not very good relationships. Definitely affected how he saw relationships. So there's some issues there. Let's see what's going on. Seven of Pentacles, Hierophant. I love you. Ooh, I'm sorry for turning my back at the times you needed me most. Betrayal. You felt like he loved you. He gave you the impression that he loved you and that he was going to marry you and be in your life. And this separation was completely unexpected. He knows that he's turned his back on you and you didn't expect it. And he knows what he did was really wrong. Getting you and your hopes turned on like that, like turned up, or how do you say, like getting your hopes up for some future that he wasn't even really sure he was going to deliver. So that was the ultimate betrayal. And he just realizes that he kind of wasted your time. Let's see what else is going on. Three of Pentacles, Four of Wands, yeah. Nobody understands the darkness inside me, the inner demons, and I'm scared. Too many changes too fast. Looks like a lot of, while you met him, there is some kind of soulmate connection here. Like he's probably in your astrology chart as someone you were destined to meet. Okay. So, he played in the part of the role that you were supposed to meet this person. But again, to move this forward, to progress in the relationship, the way your relationship was progressing was a little too fast for him. I'm not saying it was fast for you. I'm just saying it was fast for him. And it's because of his past, his inner issues, his inner demons, the mommy issues I touched on, or the issues about women in general. Okay, some issues with women. And he's just got those issues. And it's like, I can't. I'm scared. Oh, God. Commitment really sends this person off in La La Land. Followed by Nine of Swords, misery, and Six of Cups. And you are my queen. Interesting. So he's never stopped having feelings for you. He's a runner, but he does have feelings for you. And it doesn't hit him, Nicole, till late at night when he's in bed, that he's thinking about what he did to you, because he doesn't feel much like a man for the betrayal. He led you down a path, and he pursued you, and he gave you the wrong impression that he didn't want to leave you, but he did. He left you that impression. It's on him. It's on him. And he sits there and he looks at the wall at night and he knows, this is my fault. This is what I did. I'm bringing karma on myself. I did this. That was wrong of me. What's wrong with me? All of those thoughts. All of them. So why did this person come into your life? And you know what, Jesus? I'm just going to do a quick reading for you tonight, and then I will also give you a Celtic cross tomorrow for free as well. So if you have any questions specifically, Jesus, let me know so I can get those answered. Robotic. He was supposed to meet you. It was destiny. He was supposed to meet you to help you clear out some issues in your life so that you could discover, you had to discover who you could trust in life, who you were in life, but mostly who you could trust. He really burned your trust, this betrayal. So he has come into your life to teach you possibly not to be so naive, gullible, or too trusting. That's kind of his purpose of why he came. Blocked. So you were meant to have this connection be blocked for a reason. To go into this soul journey, right? This inner, reflective, soul-searching, gut-wrenching truth revelation. Why do I trust people like that? And it just makes you a stronger, better person. I do think you're going to reconcile with him, though, Nicole. Six of Cups and reconciliation. This at the bottom of the deck, overall, underall, and this in the finale and the ending of your reading. I do think that he definitely hopes to see you again and perhaps fix things with you, make it a little bit better, make peace, have some closure, just heal the bonds, clear karma, if you will. But I don't think that's the last of him you're going to see. I do think you're going to get more. Definitely going to get more out of him. All right, so he's got to go through some stuff. He is waking up, though. He is. He's constantly reminded of you. The universe is not going to let him just forget. He knows that he kind of sent you down a path of hope. That's on him. But it's all for a reason. All right, Jesus, we're going to do a reading for you. Since I don't really know what you want and you just donated to me out of the goodness of your heart, I'm just going to guess a good reading for you. What is coming your way in the month of February? What is coming your way? I got the call mentally, physically, and financially. And let's also get one for love. Ooh, bottom of the deck. I think you're going to be very happy in the month of February. You're kind of falling in love. Like someone's going to fall in love with you, or you're going to fall in love with them. But there's this wish fulfillment. It's going to feel really good. You might even get lucky. You might get lucky in February. You're going to find your faith. The month of February is a month where you're going to find yourself much, much more closer to God than you've been in a long time. You're going to be very close to spirit, really in tune. This could be prayer, meditation, mantras, going to churches or ashrams, just really getting close, even in nature. It's like me and God, me and Source Creator one-on-one. You know, it's that real good connection with spirit. And mentally, you've got your mind on that. You also mentally have in your mind the kind of spouse you want to have in your future. So this is an act of visualization and manifestation. And you're going to really start calling in that partner. Physically, Ten of Pentacles, you're on top of the world. Physically, you're going to be very fit. You're going to be feeling better than ever, or in a very long time. You're going to be feeling really good about yourself, confident. This is kind of on top of the world. This is like, I feel great. I feel like I can conquer things. Investments are going to come at you. A lot of success is going to find you. You might be well loved and well liked by many people and well respected in your family. If you've been looking for respect, you're going to get it. If you've been looking for a family, I think that you're going to find it. You may even meet the one that you're going to marry. Okay? So this may all be happening next month. You may very well meet the one. I feel like money isn't the answer to everything. And there's going to be some ups and downs with money, but you're just like, money doesn't make me happy. I'm glad I can do well financially, but I want to have a family. I want to have that. That's the success I want. I want to have that. So you're being able to provide, and you're being able to be supportive of others, but you really, really want this. Oh, you don't need to ask, this lady people says. Oh. Okay. I don't understand that question, Jesus. You don't need to ask this lady. Oh. Well, all I know is financially, like, this could be better, it could be worse, but you realize money's just not fulfilling you. In love, it's an earth sign, a loyal knight. In love, you are going to meet an earth sign. This feels very Taurus. It's a Taurus. I never usually dedicate one sign unless I'm sure. Jesus, you're going to definitely have success in love with a Taurus. Okay, and there's some kind of Taurus Scorpio 1-7 going on. Okay, there's soulmate vibes. You're destined to meet this person. You're going to start communicating with this person via text, via phone. So there's going to be some exchanging of numbers, social media, whatever, but we're going to be communicating through the phone back and forth. This is going to make you very happy. This person is going to help you get over your karmic exes and over your karma. It's going to take some time. You're going to have to dedicate yourself to this person. It's not going to come easy. It's going to take a while to get to the place where you want to be with this person, but it's worth it. Don't let how long it's taking eat you alive. Don't let it, am I getting somewhere? Is it going somewhere? Yes, it's going somewhere. You're making progress. You're moving forward into this relationship. It's going to be committed. It's going to lead to the one, the marriage, the family. It's going to lead to the whole shebang. This is what you've been waiting for, the star. This is what you've been waiting on. This person. Let's get a message about this love that's coming in February. You're going to have to put your heart on the line, Jesus. Put your heart out there. Open up. Give it away. Put your heart out there. This might be a long-distance relationship at first. Let it be. It takes time. You might be just on the phone with this person for a while, but before you know it, you're going to have a family, you're going to have wealth, health, and happiness, and this is going to be beautiful long term. This is a perfect match for you. Perfect. This is the one. And you know what? This has all been a blessing in disguise. All the hardships, all the roads you've been on, all the difficulties were just roads and arrows pointing you in the direction of happiness. So look at all your downfalls as beautiful, loving arrows guiding you to the one and to the happiness that you deserve. What is the message this person may want to say to you over the phone, or when they see you, or when they actually admit they have feelings for you? What's going to be said from this person? I still have no idea what to say to you. Ooh, I have so much passion building up for you. I'm going to explode. My gosh, every song I hear reminds me of you. It doesn't matter where I am or who I'm with. You always come to my mind. You are lovely from head to toe. So, a little shyness here, probably because there's a little bit of that long distance. But this person's like, oh my God, the anticipation of being with you, insane. So much anticipation. It's going to be difficult for them to communicate how they feel. But when they do, it's going to be beautiful. This is a very lyrical person. They may also be a songwriter or a poet. Keep that in mind. All right, Jesus, well, that is your message. If you have any other questions for the Celtic Cross, let me know. I'll be sure to answer them in the Celtic Cross. This is super exciting. I can't wait to know what's going to go on with this new love. I love you. Thank you so much for your dedication, your loyalty, your support to my channel. Like I said, I'm able to do more videos because of you. I really appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And remember, like I always say, guys, this is a journey, not a destination. So you just keep swimming. Hang in there, okay? And I'll see you guys tomorrow. I love you lots. Good night, sweet dreams, or good morning and good day, wherever you are. Love you guys. Bye-bye.